What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Let me, oh shit. I always forget that when I click something on the other monitor, this monitor changes. Ah, what's up, chat? Back with some of a new game. By the way, I'm watching anime. What are you watching, Bob? Share us your watch list because I definitely don't have any at the moment, and I wish I have. To be honest, I wish I have something to watch. Subtitle, please. Okay, we go for English. Kuru Kuru Basket. Okay, that's a good one. Let's get going. Okay. Have you played Stanley Parable before? No. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. Okay. Okay. Go for frenzy. Go for frenzy. Please enter the current time. Okay, it's wait. The fuck? Oh, okay. Yep. This is it. It's almost 8 p.m. right here. French, I mean. Bro, you read frenzy. Note, accessibility settings can be accessed from the main menu. Accessibility can be accessed. I like that. I like the wording on that one. Okay, so let's see. Begin the game. Begin the game. The end is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay. Okay, chat.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor at his desk, telling him what was happy.
Stanley was happy. Okay, nice, nice.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
Damn.
Never in all his years at the company had this happened.
We called it paradise.
Complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, okay, nice. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, so we left is... This is all I need, right? Yeah, we can move now. Okay, so
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
bro showed up on a vacation. Stanley is so stupid, bro, that he showed up on a vacation. I am telling you that. He showed up on... Okay, so let's just moving on the direction they want us to move in.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Huh? Hold on. Do we follow, chat? Do we follow the instructions? Do we go to the left? Aha! I see what you... Or do we go to the right? Okay, to be honest, if we are Stanley follows instructions. Let's go. I did it for the first time. Well, I went through it, and here we go.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, take it out passive aggressively on other co-workers, resent co-workers for not supporting you more, let it boil inside of you. Okay, nice. What's this? What is not profits? Target demographic, teenagers. Stripes, require more secondary research. Okay, I love these parts. I love these parts about the games, man. Like, what do people want? Things, money. Wait, what is that? A happy feeling. Via James, you are fired. More money, things, but with money to buy. More things, graphs about things plus money. We have our new product, graphs about things and money. Buy quarterly post review. We need reviews. 402, 445 want to get rid of the death sport portion in the primary review schedule. But I think that's a stupid idea. Imagine you go to a workplace and this is how they communicate. Like, let me be fired, bro. More water coolers, heaters. Church need to be more hip to appeal to teenage demographics. Imagine trying to make graphs work for teenagers, bro. You ain't. I don't wanna be. I don't wanna be in that place, bro. Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. Wait, what? Oh, some sort of child trap. We're hunting children with these ones. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Oh, to do synergize Corvette number of sides on the slides. Okay. I already love this game, bro. Man. Wait.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. Bro, wow.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him.
Okay.
And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay. Oh shit, it's getting interesting. It's getting interesting, boys. So, what? His boss is a serial killer? Nice. Oh! Do we have like loading screens like the last one?
To the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Hey.
Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
The fuck?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Let's go. Why not? Mind control facility. Okay, so that's what they did.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
Okay.
Did he have the strength to find out?
Yes, I do. Yes, he does. I mean, Ooh, nice. It's a nice design, by the way. I love the design. Can you die? Okay, so... Oh, wait. No.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers.
Holy
the lives
shit.
of so many individuals
Oh my God,
reduced to
sorry.
images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Where freedom meant nothing. Damn, bro. That's a cool ass game. This game is really cool, bro.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yep. Most who the fuck would wanna live?
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
Stanley, stupid!
In someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Yes! Yes! He was blind, obviously, like the...
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Mind controls idle awaiting input. Okay. Okay, nice. Oh, I hear boss music. I don't know. Why do I hear boss music, guys?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
He's about to get...
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone?
Yes.
How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
Nice.
Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
Nice.
And that was all he needed to know. It
Ooh.
was perhaps the only thing worth knowing.
Something's fishy.
Stanley stepped through the open door.
Something is fishy. This is too good to be true, to be honest. Like, come on.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin.
Okay.
The feeling of liberation. The immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
Something's...
And Stanley was happy.
And here we go. It was a dream. He was dreaming in his office. Am I right? Aha!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Wait, what? What are we back here? No, finish the game. Huh? That's it?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
First open door on his left. Nah.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Bro is literally like going off on.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for her.
Who's her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
Who's her?
She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this.
What the fuck?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Motherfucker!
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something.
What a roast!
Let me show you what's really going on here.
Bro! He pranked me. I actually believe there was like...
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Press what? Good morning.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch.
Bro!
Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Motherfucker. Wait. Okay, I have to press the button. I thought I was being roasted because I'm following the orders.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown. Fantastic discoveries of new land.
Wait, what?
It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him
What the fuck? Spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Bro, no, that's me.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again And then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Press F to tell your wife you love her.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
When you find the broom closet, stay in it.
And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains
Oh my
here,
God.
he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. I'm pressing every button, it's not V. Nuh-uh.
You see? Can he just not hear me?
Fuck.
How can I tell him in a
Fuck.
way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How
Yeah.
can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this
Nom
time.
nom.
And I tried again.
Please die.
And Stanley pushed a button.
Please die.
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Please die. What the fuck, bro? Oh my god. Oh, the end is never the end. I get it now, bro. Oh my god. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so what's the real one?
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Broom closet, you said, huh?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Okay, wait.
Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
What happens if you don't go in the way he's asking? Well, he gives you a generational roast. He rips into your character. He goes off on you. He literally take a shit on you.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Wait, what about this? Blue room. Stay at the meeting room, go right. Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Okay.
Feeling a wave of
Okay.
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Oh, by the way, we missed some things, huh? Get Chris out of the broom closet. Where is the broom closet? You said stay in the blue room, right? Oh wait. That's the blue. Is that the one? Chat, is that the one? Damn you, shit. Oh!
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be
Very interesting broom closet, but look at that. That's interesting. Look at this broom, dude. It's a broom.
Baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Look at this card, bro. Oh, nice. Look at this shelf, bro.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing?
Yes.
Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Okay. If I stay here, you become angry. And me get roasted.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me, because literally, this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
But
I
dude,
wouldn't have thought to mention it.
Dude, look at this. This is so interesting, bro. Come on, how is this not related to anything?
This is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this. Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid.
Hey, yo!
And he got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Oh.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species.
Okay.
Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway. Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than you too. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Okay, let's wait a bit. Broom closet. Actual broom in the broom closet. Bro, they said bring the monkey.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, we walked into the office, so let's go down this time.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense.
Oh, wait, what?
And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Wait.
For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar.
Yeah.
Simply repeating. No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh shit.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun.
Nice.
And Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up.
Nice.
How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Okay,
Now
finally.
the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility
Wait, what?
for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
Holy shit.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back,
Wow.
the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife,
Wait,
and my job.
he doesn't have a wife.
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal.
All I want is a broom closet. I want a broom closet.
Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Wait, what?
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Yep. Yeah. He had the meltdown. Damn. Bro lost.
This
Bro
is the
lost.
story of a woman named Mariella.
Huh? What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
Wait,
But
what?
on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in some way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life.
And you gotta call for an ambulance.
So it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Nah, man, nah. And we're back. Okay, so
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Shut the fuck up, bro. You gotta go around every door. When you go right, stay in the room, the blue one.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace, its subtle charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker.
A black coffee. A dark coffee, right? It must be. It must be the coffee.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Ah, yes, a work of art. This is what I want in my house, bro. I don't want.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Bro, there is a cup of coffee, bro, on the table. Go straight and take the elevator and jump from
Stanley
it to the
sat
side.
around waiting for more dialogue. But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Bro, come on. Wait. When you go right in the room, go straight and take the elevator and jump from it to the side. How do I jump in this game? Hold on. How do I jump? Okay. I still can't jump though.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Wait. Go straight and take the elevator and jump from the side. Go straight.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Take the elevator.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
No. Everybody thinks you're very powerful.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Bro, come on.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only half there, just a kind of, tink. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nuh-uh.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Do not jump from the cargo lift while is in motion. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Okay.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Blue door. Let's go. I want to erase you.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Oh, yes. The blue door, yes.
I still don't think we're communicating. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Yes. Wait, what the fuck?
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before.
Hey, yo!
Stanley, take it for a spin.
Hey, yo!
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one.
Okay.
Let's take a look.
That's cool. Huh? What the fuck? Worldwide leaderboard? Huh? Skid is offline. Wait, what is... Did you know that 24% of players skipped the intro sequence? Only the worst 3% of players chose the blue door. 98% of the you are objectively ranked. Why not ask some friends for help? Error. Friend list empty. Since the name the friends. Oh my god, bro. A dead rat is objectively ranked better way. Oh my god. A dead rat is even better than us. That's what he's trying to say. Oh shit. Okay, I misclicked. Okay, let's get back here. I feel like something is still up here.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors?
Yes.
Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game,
Wait, what?
rolls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Okay, you can burn, eh? You can burn.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for you. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Wait, what?
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley?
Oh,
What's our
what?
backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose.
What the fuck?
Yes, that must
What?
be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture
Bitch.
outward and see what else is out there.
Okay. There is nothing. Bruh. Wrong one. He's getting sued. Okay. I've got to say, I like the art.
Oh no. No, it can't be.
It reminds me of Breath of the Wild a bit.
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
Huh? Oh, what?
Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it.
Bro, like control, bro.
Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game.
No.
Probably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Ah, let me out! Let me out!
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
You know why he's getting sued?
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind.
Look at it!
Nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Rocket League!
Okay, so what exactly do we do here?
Where's my car, bro?
There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must.
Bro.
Here's the ball. Have fun.
Hey!
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought, and I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple...
What the fuck?
What are you doing?
I was scoring a goal.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Hey! Look at that! We shut him up, finally. Okay. Okay, we're still going into the dark. Not back here again, bro. Dude, I had fun. Okay, but every wall is open now. Nice. That was scary. Nice. I don't know this part of the game. Oh yeah, bro. You didn't think about scoring a goal in Rocket League. That's why you don't know about this game. Yep. We are discovering new parts. Let's go, bro. Okay. Okay, I'm genuinely confused. Wait, what?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it.
Bro,
he'll understand soon
that
what I was
on
trying to
time.
tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh yes, yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon.
What the fuck?
Very soon. I can wait.
Bro, he's like Batman. What the fuck, bro? Damn. Not it. Okay, fuck. Okay, we need to get back on the.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's get back into it, eh?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man
Love a room.
I mean, truly, truly, deeply, madly love. Yeah, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nuh-uh.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Okay, time
I'm
to
not
jump.
your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
To be honest, let's stroll a bit.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood.
Okay.
Stanley walked. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere
What the
that
fuck?
isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now.
What the fuck?
Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Bro. Nah, man. Nah, this feels creepy as fuck, bro.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel... No, wait. Where are you going?
Nah, man, nah.
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think of... No! Oh, thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
Yes, beg me for it.
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Yes, you're fucking annoying, so yeah. Whee!
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours. Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
Yeah, baby.
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I still thought that was possible.
Let's stay a bit so we can troll him. It is a bit beautiful, to be honest. Okay, I think the next fold is the final fold. I mean, he's already like slow. It's like he's injured. Okay.
Is it over?
Yes.
It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. Wait, whoa. Something's changing.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Dude, why is everything on the ground? New content!
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
New content, bro.
you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013
Yeah.
on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Okay, nice. What do you think
The
about that,
Stanley
chat?
Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Okay, this is creepy.
Step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
So like, do we finish like the base game?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Bro, like, oh my god, like I'm excited.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Give me the content, Stanley. Yeah, what is the content? Oh, okay. My bad.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Hey, yo. Jump circle, okay. So now we know what it's like to jump. That's it.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Bro, even the narrator is pissed.
Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive.
Really?
It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. 20 hours of new content right there. Yeah, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Are you kidding me, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started
it's a
on
commentary.
the craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. You could never have built up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
What the fuck?
What do you say?
Like he roasted people, bro. He roasted people. Wait, what? This is not the same game. What the fuck?
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Okay. Bruh.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
What the
Take a look.
dude?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Okay.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity.
Nice.
Back then, it all meant something. Oh,
Dude.
waste.
The Last of Us, huh? Dude. Firefox, bro. Oh my god, nah, man. Dude. The Stanley is an explosion of a story. Oh my god, dude. Begin the demo. A trip down memory lane. Smart because it happened. $1. Nice. It's this inachievable. It's impossible to get this achievement. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. Development team nominee British Academy Award the Stanley Game Innovation. Debut games. For the story. Okay. New video game releasing today. Could show an even effort to enroll poor. Cause gender neutral to achieve diversity. Nice, nice. Stanley Parable deal for tough choices. Damn. Damn, bro. What the fuck?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Cool. How do you review a game like Stanley Parable? Describe any part of it. It is to risk to ruin its ruination. Details was it has to say about the game design, the illusion of choice, and the psychology of the gamer is to tell you too much. Comparison two are going to be woefully inadequate. Perhaps its closest cousin would be Dear Esther, but where Dear Esther wastes the form of interactive entertainment, Stanley Parable uses and then subverts it. Where so many games aspire to be more, the game ends up less than any form of art. Sorry guys. Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created. Even so, holding the game to standards of any other title is simply not going to be correct. So how do you review what had become known as the Stanley Parable HD, the full-scale reimagining of one of the most intriguing modes available online? How do you discuss it and analyze the request? It's quite simple. You don't. Damn, this is beautiful to be honest. I thought it was like a person of the year. Oh, okay. These are the buttons from the game. I see. Wait, what? Something is sus. Something is kind of sus.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Bro, like literally got forced to make a deluxe, ultra deluxe edition and like a reimagining of the game, and like the makers got so pissed off that they are actually going off on like the investors and shit. Like, it's a deep commentary, bro.
These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Let's see. Oh!
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his human proving to be more irritating than entertaining.
Yes!
Funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Okay. Do we have another one? Surely we have another one. Okay. Oh, here's another one.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea of a game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I?
Yes, you are.
If I'm preachy, honestly, you can.
Yes, you are.
This is actually quite shocking for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable
bro, like
isn't
this
quite
one...
as sterling as I always remembered.
Dude, like... I feel like he's not getting the things deserved. Like, I can see the good recommendations that you cannot even read them. Where the fuck am I going? Okay, another one.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
I wish there was a skip button. Yes, me too.
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that.
Really?
If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customers. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue. Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness.
He's 8 years old now.
Someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that... Oh, hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year.
After a year?
Sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year. Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time. Days, months.
Fuck off, bro. Like... Hey, yo? You got nothing to say? Okay. I think he died. Yeah.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to solve the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain.
Is he dead now? Is he dead now? Please tell me he's dead now. Okay.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
I don't know why it feels sketchy.
Is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
Okay, that was enough. That got creepy really fast. Okay. I want to go back to Rocket League, man. Come on. I want to see what's behind the Rocket League thing, you know? Hey, yo! The room is falling apart. Okay. What? It's like that, you know, the movie about like the movie where you, I forget who it is, like you have like a remote controller that allows you to control time. So you start skipping and the skips becomes too long. Like there is a whole movie about it. It's a funny movie actually. Okay, I think we're stuck. Nothing changed. Hey, huh? The skip button is down. The skip button is down. Oh wait. Hey, yo. Ooh, this is what I call the Deluxe edition. Okay.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
To be honest, we'll be back here. I want to finish the.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room.
I want to go
Stanley
for
knew
the
it perfectly
Rocket
well.
League thing.
Perhaps he wanted to
I wanna
stop
finish
by
the
the
Rocket League
employee
thing
lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Let's get to Rocket League, guys.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Okay.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Really?
Let's
I was in the
go.
middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Come on, come
Give me
on.
a chance.
Where is the
Now
skip
listen
button?
carefully. This
Where is the skip button?
Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see, there's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken
where's the
rooms,
skip button when you need
developer
it, bro?
textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I'd written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better?
Come on.
What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees?
Skill trees,
Work with
yeah.
me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Oh, of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings. Does that sound good? Think we can do that, yes? Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a
Bro,
new version.
my mission is just to piss him
I
off.
think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Ah, yeah, we saw the leaderboard before.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Okay. It's the baby.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right. And if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game. All about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the
Oh, bro, come on, come on.
I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear
It's a
once
cute
you've been
babe.
playing it for about 4
It's a
hours.
cute babe.
So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
No.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
Basically-
Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to
I just
do.
want to get back to the Rocket League ending, guys.
I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try.
I'm out. He's
I'm
out.
out. I'm done.
I'm done.
It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see.
Come on.
Have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Come on. Wait, we do need a skip button in this one.
Ah, fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower.
Okay.
Perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be.
Come
it.
on, bro.
What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Let's go. We're almost back. I want to know what parody. What parody is this game?
No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
Nah.
Thank goodness, Stanley, what a close call. You really wandered off into that thing, that big open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You could just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it.
Is there a way like to pass it?
Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Okay. We're back.
See, this is
We're back to
exactly
Rocket
what I
League, let's
had
go.
in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Sports ball. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun. Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience.
Hey, yo.
I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
What the fuck? Nice.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over.
Huh?
That's right. Your little fun comes to an end.
Fuck
This is
him!
my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley.
Bro, okay,
You need
that's
someone
it.
like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I am structure.
I'm going to
your
break some
sense of
structure.
purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much, but who knows? You're an inventive kid, you'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best.
He buzzed.
Take care,
course.
Stanley.
Okay. So I think we just like jump into the hole. Says there's no ball to play with. To be honest, like they cut the map to a T, by the way, for Rocket League.
Hold on. What are you doing?
Yep.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it, you know?
Okay. We're back in this like zone with nothing. Okay. There's nothing to interact with, really. Okay. So basically, like, we finished every ending. I guess all's left is the more
I
ultra
wonder what he
deluxe.
found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back.
He'll be back.
The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Okay, can we get back to the deluxe edition?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Okay. This is not the same one, right? Wait, is this the same one?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe
it's a
version
new
has
one, it's a
turned
new
out to
one.
be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Huh?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Okay.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
New hotness. Old plus busted. The Stanley Parable 2. Okay, can you... Bro, it's literally Google Slides. Bro, oh my god. Like, oh shit, bro, I love this.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Okay.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Resource bucket.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Oh, okay. Let's go for this.
Sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted to get well someday it is.
I'm going to kill him. I must kill him. Okay?
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Let's go. It's a free achievement. Pull the lever, receive your new achievement, no more steps. It just works. Get used to it now, okay? Where's the lever?
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you. And I promise it will happen.
Damn you, man. Never mind, there was nothing there. Bro, like they baited me. A free achievement, bro. I got baited, chat.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Oh.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Bruh. Free button says name of a player is playing the game. Zert merch. Where is B2? I wanna go for the bucket. Here it comes, it comes, it comes, it comes. The bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in
Where's the
those
bucket?
who played it. Well, I'm happy to
Where's
say
the
that
bucket?
after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game.
What is the
Stanley
damn bucket?
Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's
the
true.
bucket?
As
The
long as
bucket?
you hold onto the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley
bucket?
will feel
We got the bucket!
and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms.
Give
And to
me.
be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for
Give me the
you
bucket.
than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be?
Yeah,
Yes,
imagine.
the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
What the fuck?
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in
I got the
fact,
bucket.
can
I got the
feel that
bucket.
already the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well.
Oh yeah.
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Oh yeah.
The
Definitely.
benefits of the bucket
Definitely.
seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Hey, I'm gonna walk with the bucket. I have a bucket now, guys. Do you have a bucket? You don't have.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Okay, let's hear our name. Bro, we got a bucket. I don't care. Best game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Became a person
I want
named
you to
Jim.
imagine yourself living as Jim. Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise,
Really?
it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name.
That's the point.
Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first.
Okay.
Now, allow yourself to become Jim.
Yes.
Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim.
Too much.
All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on? See, if you'd only played along, that would have been your name, the button says. But no. Instead, I can't even think about it. I'm taking the Jim button away.
No.
Jim.
No.
Jim.
I hate him. I genuinely hate him with passion. He took the button, bro. He took the button.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. They would appreciate what I've created here.
Okay, that's the button. Infinite hole. Okay, infinite hole from here, okay? Okay, this is where we get the infinite hole. Let's see. Why I hear myself talking? You hear yourself talking?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Okay.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Nah. We're staying here for mid, boys.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
No.
Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity.
Oh, shit.
From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Hey, you lied, bitch. You lied. I didn't lie here.
Things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
Nah, I meant everything I said.
All this behind us and agreed to just call the hole mostly infinite.
Nuh-uh.
If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Woo, look at this. We are at the bottom of the hole. We are in the bottom of the hole. Okay? And my mission, chat, is to erase the... Wait. Why is there cigarette smokes here? New mug and this that. Meeting at 2 p.m. Another meeting at 2 p.m. Okay. Pause button, nice. So,
Great.
Yeah.
Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Oh, wait. Did we see all the ideas now? Okay. At least we have a bucket, right, guys? Collectibles. No, wait. I don't think we saw this one. No.
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them.
What the fuck?
I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Huh?
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Okay. It's time to find the 6 figurines, I guess. Wait, what if we do back? We get back to the free achievement here. Okay. Okay, so we need to find like nothing here.
Come now, you've already made your choice.
Sure.
It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
Okay, let's back into the map. Let's see what do we see right now. Resource bucket, office decoration, epilogue. Okay, where's the epilogue? I think the epilogue is where we wanna go. We are here. No. Sheesh, research bucket. How do we get up there? Oh, okay. I found the stair. Let's go. We have not go into like the most infant hole. Sitting world champion. It's really fun, to be honest. Okay. I mean, is this the end? What? Okay. Where is the okay, the epilogue. We are here. I'm trying to get here. Okay, I think this is the one. Yep, I got it.
All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yes.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
This is gonna be funny.
Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Huh?
I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, no.
Yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags.
Yes.
And I do very
It's a
much
lot of
enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game.
Really?
I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect.
Bro, he did a full circle.
The vision and integrity of the original game.
From talking about how bad.
I suppose it could, but it would need a really, really tremendous title screen.
Ultra Deluxe.
A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up.
Ultra Deluxe.
Perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Huh? Bro, I just unlocked another game inside the game. Wait, what?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
A bucket!
Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Nah.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley
can
chose
talk.
not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Bro, like, come on, dude.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here?
Why?
What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and
The game is
isn't
freaking,
a
I love
bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
New content. New content.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is
Bro.
or is not a
Bro!
bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
It's how to be a millionaire.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a
Huh?
bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket,
fuck?
not an actual bucket.
What the
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket.
He's trying to get on my...
Item 4. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one.
What the fuck, bro?
Is this a bucket?
Yes, 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 yes.
Correct. This is a
Huh?
bucket.
What the fuck? Huh? What?
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
No. No, there's no way. This is...
Trick question. Both. Gotcha. Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere. Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true.
Oh, come on.
Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence.
No, you can't.
And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with.
Yeah.
I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
Nah.
Okay, here we go.
No, no, no. You do that, I'm gonna kill you. Nah, man.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was...
Everything was a bucket.
Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Definitely.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Okay, let's try to do the game normally.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it?
Yes.
The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
It wants
You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now. But you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. Would getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I'd never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it. Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate.
Yes, my relationship with that book.
There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Stanley and the bucket.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him, always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Wait.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows that.
Bro.
So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Bro, like, it's like an infinite game at this point. It's like an infinite game at this point. Like, I don't know where I'm going.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control.
Hey, I never went from here.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Really?
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Infinite hole! I would not. Oh, it's not an infinite hole. Oh. Wait, what?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Hell no.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Wait, what?
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Wait, did they change the narrator for the bucket? The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing on the precipice of knowledge. Much like the bucket itself, the human mind is strictly empty within a cavernous void, but through use of exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and rich and sustained. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take... Okay. The funny thing is that there was a war once actually fought about the...
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Bucket with two handles. Yeah, this is it. This is the bucket I was telling you about. It's the one that inspired a war, a replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerful, a relic that drove dozens of nations to war. Okay, not nations, but like 2 villages. Cave drawing for a bucket.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However, clear our scraps of the bucket may there be more infinite. Okay, I got it. W oversimplified. Yes.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
We can kill the narrator? What?
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Huh? Did I actually reach an end?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley
we still have a bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I think we should stop here, guys.